Right, so here we are after a little detour to play Football Manager Maniac and FM Llama in the Andorran Open Challenge. Do go and check those episodes out on the channel if you haven't done so already. We're back to regular Andorra action today, and there's a lot to catch up on as we embark on a new season, the 2027-28 season. We've got transfers, a lot of transfers, a lot more than I was planning on. We've got Wonderkids, more Wonderkids than you could shake a shortlist at. We've got our Lindo back in form. We've got the Europa League. So much to cover. Let's get straight to it. So hello there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Dodgy Gamer here with another episode and a brand new season of Andorra, the challenge, in which I take charge of the club FC Andorra and the country of Andorra and try to lead them both along the road to glory. And as we did last season, we're going to start on my profile page and see where I am after that 6th place finished last season. So having a look at it this time, I mean, lots of stuff in the green. Reputation is still on 60%. See, we've had a bit of a drop in the level of discipline, down from 21 to a mere 20. One thing I've noticed, which I'm not too happy about, is my personality is apparently unambitious. I'm not ambitious in the slightest. As I record this, we are sat on 591 subscribers. Let's get that to 600 as quickly as we can. There's a bit of ambition for you. So hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. So where do we start? Well, we'll start with transfers. There's the usual list of loanies going out, but you see quite a few departures this season as we had a bit of a spring clean on the squad. And this, as I said in the intro at the top of the episode, was not entirely planned. You see, I was generally quite happy with the squad, lots of young players who were developing, and I wanted to continue that development. However, I'm a sucker for any kind of Wonderkid potential that comes up, and my eye was caught by this guy, because I'm also a sucker for any Turkish player as well. If you remember my Gençler Birliği save back on FM18. So Ismail Urganja, caught my eye, caught the eye of my scouts. I wanted him, but his club wanted £16 million for him. We had about $12.5 million in the bank. I thought we can play around a bit. We can play around with the wage budget. No, there wasn't enough room in the wage budget for that. I thought we can go to the board, ask them to sanction the transfer. They said, no, it's too expensive, too much for one player. So we started to look at player sales. So as Urganja was an attacking midfielder, then we looked at attacking midfielders to sell. So I sold Alex Robertson. He was a player who I thought was decent, but, not outstanding. So we sold him $2.5 million, potentially rising to above $3 million, back to West Brom. We sold Paul Macias. Now, he's a player who keeps getting interest from kind of bottom half teams in like League One and La Liga, but no real big teams. And he did seem to have stagnated in his development. He wasn't as effective last season as in the seasons before. So he went for about $2 million to Bordeaux as well. We also got rid of Sieta, and he was more of a second division standard player. Fleming hadn't developed the way we'd been wanting him to, so he was gone as well. And then Michael Burling, we sold him back to England, so all our British players have gone at this point. He went back to Birmingham for $5 million. Again, he was someone who had flashes of good form last season, but wasn't great, wasn't the striker, the goal scorer I wanted him to be, so he went back. Pereira, an offer came in for him. Now, of course, we brought in another left-back I showed you at the end of last season, Rui Moreira. We'll get onto him in a moment. So we had too many left-backs. So when $6.5 million came in as an offer, we accepted. And there's one more that I'm going to come back to in a minute. So we raised quite a bit in the way of funds. And I thought, great. But there was another problem. Another club came in for Urganja, and then his club, which was also Nantes, suddenly came back to me saying, well, we want more money. And they put it up to beyond 20 million, which was so frustrating because I hadn't got all of this money put back into the transfer revenue, of course. So I had just enough to complete the transfer. And then the board said, well, no. We're not giving you all of that money. The club said, we want more. So we ended up spending it elsewhere. Axel Speranza stepped forward. 20-year-old Argentinian left-winger, Wonderkid, Look how fast this guy is. Acceleration of 17, pace of 16, agility of 18, crossing of 17, technique of 17 as well. He has the potential to be huge for us. We got him from Boca Juniors for 9 million. And then I thought, well, I can pursue Urganja, or I can get in this other Wonderkid and have change for more. So that's what we went with. We went with Speranza. Jose Francisco Perez, the Andorran icon. He's been with us since the beginning. He's still here. He's not going anywhere, but he wasn't performing consistently or at a high enough level last season. So we need someone to compete for his place on the left wing. And that is Speranza. Axel Speranza, a kind of football rock star kind of name. He's now our first choice left winger. Jose Francisco Perez is going to have to fight for his place. Then we also brought in this guy, Jordi Carrillo. He came in from Atletico Madrid. He's 22-year-old Spanish player, 3 stars current ability, 4-star potential. He is a guy who's, never quite reached his potential so far. You see, started out at Barcelona. He had one very good season for Barcelona B back in the day. Massive transfer to Atletico Madrid, but never really made a mark at Atletico Madrid. A couple of seasons ago, 29 games played, 8 goals scored, but didn't really do anything last season. So we picked him up. He was transfer listed, still valued. He was still valued at about £15 million, but transfer listed for 4.3. So we came in. He's going to challenge our Lindo for a place in the absence of Burling. And then a signing, an unplanned signing, just randomly, an agent offer just randomly dropped into my lap. They said his contract's up, and no one signed him. Do you want to sign him? And suddenly, I forgot all about the Turkish guy. Midana Sanha, Portuguese attacking midfielder. So he fills in for Robertson and the player who never came. Very highly determined, driven personality, and he looks like someone who with room to improve and reach that 4.5-star potential. Backing up a bit, I'd already shown you in the previous episode, but I'll bring him up again. Rui Moreira, left back, whom we signed from Lazio, Portuguese, yet again, another Wonderkid. So we now have Speranza, Moreira, we've got Maicon Silva and Jorge Gomez in the side, all listed as Wonderkids. Absolutely fantastic. We also brought in on a free transfer another Portuguese player, Idrissa Santos, to provide Jimenez with a bit of competition in goals. So 23 years old. Again, another player who's never quite realised his potential. He was at Porto, but mainly playing in the B team. So we're going to bring him in. I'll update you on injuries and things in a moment, but he has been getting a run in the first team. A couple of other youngsters and players for the future that we signed. We brought in Chris Poole, who's actually Dutch, not English, as his name might suggest. We brought him in from Feyenoord, only 17, but he's currently in our under-19s team, but definitely one to watch for the future. Amu Dabar, a Guinean international. Now, I found him during the African Cup of Nations, which took place over the summer, and this is a kind of player I haven't found on this save up until now. A player who was on a month-to-month contract at a club in Guinea, and we were able to put together a very cheap deal to bring him over. He's in the B team and out on loan for now, but he's one who could cement the first team place in the future. And another signing, a central midfielder, one for the future again, a Gene Jones, quite a fantastic name. He's Colombian, but with a second nationality of American. So he's not EU, which means we've had to send him out on loan. He'll have a couple of seasons out on loan. He's currently at Lugo in the second division, but we'll be looking for him to build up that experience, get his Spanish passport, and then bring his determination of 20 to our central defence. Now over here, there's one more departure that I want to tell you about separately. It's not a name that will be familiar to you, Pedro Macalhes. The more eagle-eyed of you may have spotted him in the Andorra squad when we took on the Northern Mariana Islands when FM Lama rode into town. But he was from our youth intake last year. He was the pick-out player of the youth intake. We were told he had the potential to be the best player FC Andorra had ever produced. And as you can see, I mean, these are the ratings given by the scouts for the national team. So they are a bit high, 4-star current, 5-star potential. In reality, for the club, he had He came in with a straight up 2 stars current ability, which is great for a 16-year-old, 5-star potential. We signed him immediately to a youth contract, and then bloody Real Betis came in and just offered him a contract, a full-time contract. I tried to talk him into signing one with us. He wasn't having any of it, and he left. And it was one of those things where, because he was our youth player, we were awarded a transfer fee, kind of transfer tribunal kind of thing, but it was a measly 850,000. Future fees and things like that. I guess we'll get some kind of kickback in the future, but really gutted that a potential superstar dropped into our lap and he was poached from us. But anyway, that's the squad. The squad is quite full at the moment. Obviously, 25 players under La Liga rules, but we've still got the likes of Moreno and Arlindo to go with Cario up front. I think now we've got 2 decent options in pretty much every position. Central midfield and centre defence. Perhaps the backup options are not as good as the first choice options. But, we've got the young players coming through there, the ones who are going to be ready to fill those slots in a couple of seasons' time. Remember when Arlindo used to bang in goals for fun? Well, he started doing it again. You'll see in the first 4 games of the season, 5 goals. So absolutely fantastic. He's responded to the challenge of having somebody like Jordi Cario breathing down his neck for a place in the team. Unfortunately, Jordi Cario has picked up a knock, but as you see, on his debut, came on as a substitute and scored a goal himself. So he's keen. He's ready to get amongst the goals. Axel Speranza, I know we've already shown you him, but he's been absolutely fantastic so far. 4 appearances, a goal and an assist, and a 7.4 average rating. Maicon Silva's been tearing it up on the right-hand side, an average rating of 7.2, 3 assists in 4 games so far. So attacking-wise, we're doing really, really well. So just to take you through results so far, we had a pretty good pre-season, our only defeat coming to Paris Saint-Germain. So we even beat Liverpool 3-1, which was a great result for us. And then we kicked things off. Opening game of the season, Sevilla at home. We were being told in the press that we didn't stand a chance, and we won 4-0. Arlindo making up for that terrible performance against FM Maniacs Göteborg side with a penalty after 6 minutes. Then Speranza, Cario and Guedes adding the goals to make a 4-0 rout. And then we travelled to Legans and Arlindo hat-trick. Absolutely fantastic performance from him, and that really started to send shockwaves around the division. We then travelled to Valencia. Arlindo scoring again, although Valencia equalised immediately, but we held on for a tough point away from home. Against Espanyol, though, we've had our first hiccup. We're back from the international break. I guess we lost our momentum, and we were defeated 3-0, although Espanyol are up there at the top of the table. You see, they've only dropped 2 points so far all season. Now, you'll also spy here Euro Cup group fixtures. Well, this is our group. Let's see if it'll come up for me now. There we go. We've been drawn with Roma, with PSV, and with Bate Borisov of Belarus. So, obviously, we've got to be happy with Bate Borisov. I mean, we won't take anything for granted, but that's a pair of winnable games there. PSV, we'll have to see what it's like. I expect some tight games. We should be able to beat them when we play them at home, and if we can get a result away, that would be fantastic. Obviously, Roma have got to be favourites in the group, but great to be able to test ourselves against one of the top teams in Europe, and that's what we're going to be doing right now. So the formation is pretty much the same as it's been for the last couple of seasons. Just as I said, having these guys in, Silva having developed a bit more, Arlindo having come back into form, Sanha and Speranza coming in and adding that new blood into the team. These guys have really made a difference to our attacking play. Remember, towards the end of last season, we were struggling to score goals. That seems to have changed now, although, of course, the Espanyol game wasn't as good as we maybe hoped it would be. Duarte has continued to develop. He's a key player, a pivotal player. United City FM was asking on Twitter the other day about, given the choice, if you could only pick one, would you pick a deep line playmaker or an advanced playmaker? I know I've got both, but he's the key player here, the deep line playmaker, Duarte. He just dictates so much of our play. Guedes as well. We kept hold of him. I mean, he's not a superstar player, but he's a solid midfielder. Gomez and Crush continue their partnership in the centre. Jonathan and Moreira in the full-back positions. Santos in goal because Jimenez has been injured. He's just recovered. He's fit again, but Santos has been doing all right, apart from the Espanyol game, I know, but we'll stick with him for now. Roma also going with a 4-2-3-1, and when you see names in their team like Kluivert, Veron and Mancini, you might be forgiven for thinking I was playing with a 1990s database, but I'm not. It's just, the namesakes. So anyway, into the dressing room, we're going to tell the team. Assistant manager says encourage them. I'd say, I want a better performance than last time, but let's go out and show everybody what you're capable of. Okay, the first moment of European action on the save after that journey through the divisions from unfancied second division B team all the way up to La Liga and now into Europe. Not quite the grandest stage of them all. We're not a Champions League side yet, but here we are in the Europa League playing at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome, and let's hope we don't get humiliated. Good play by Moreira there, back in Italy, signed from Lazio in the summer, of course, and a quick transition to Arlindo's been pulled out wide, but he nearly found Duarte with the ball, but he just underhit it a little bit, and now we've got to watch out for the quick counter from Roma, and they've scored. Pellegrini scoring in the 8th minute. We nearly launched a fantastic counter-attack there, but one mistake is all it takes against a team of this calibre. Let's hope we can fight our way back into this. Okay, here we go. Sana's got the ball, turns his man, brings it centrally to Guedes. Guedes with a pile driver of a shot. And what an absolutely fantastic equaliser. FC Andorra's first goal in Europe is scored by Guedes. The player who's been with us for a long time. So good to see one of the more established names in the team going for a look. Just took one touch to control the ball. He knew exactly what he wanted to do and just whacked it in. Alan Partridge would be swearing at that one. Anyway, here comes Jonathan now. Jonathan, get the cross in. He does. Arlindo. Guedes was pushed. Oh, it's gone to VAR, but we could have a penalty. We do. Arlindo. Is he going to score this time? Let's see. Come on, Arlindo. You've already scored a penalty this season, and now you've scored a second one. 15, 16, 17 minutes gone, and we're 2-1 up away at Roma. This is unbelievable. We have fought our way back into the game. Now we just got to keep our noses in front. Corner for us. Speranza whips it in. Oof, and that clips the crossbar and goes out. So close to a third goal there. We are really taking it to the Romans at the moment. Okay, it's cleared by us. Arlindo picks it up. He's waiting for players to join him, but maybe he doesn't need them. He skips past everyone and just hits it straight at the keeper. Maybe there he could have just played it inside and we would have had a third goal. But anyway, we're 2-1 up. We recovered well from going behind so early on. So, I mean, we've got to tell the team, don't get complacent. I mean, I know you shouldn't be getting complacent anyway, but we'll say it just because it's effective. And we'll end the team talk and get straight back out there for the second half and see if we can add to our lead. Right, up to the hour mark, nothing's happened so far. Good to see that a few of our players are motivated. Worrying to see that our goalkeeper is apprehensive. But, a mistake. Arlindo wins the ball. Is he going to score? So close. Lopez saves. We've got the corner. You can't make mistakes like that with Arlindo sniffing around. Anyway, Silva's going to swing the corner in. It comes out to Sanha. The new boys combining. He wins as a throw-in, but that's probably going to be the end of the highlight. Right, you will notice we're picking up a few yellows here, so I think we're going to take a couple of those boys off. I've got to at this point. Speranza hasn't really done anything today. I mean, he's not playing too badly, 6.8, but I've got to give the Andorran icon, Jose Francisco Perez, a role to play in our first game in Europe. And I'm going to bring Kamara on for Sanha because he's on a yellow as well. Maicon Silva not having a great game, but we'll leave him on for now. Let's see, final 15 minutes. Can we hold on for a famous win and announce the arrival of FC Andorra on the European stage? Okay, it's Roma now looking to get back into this. They'll be feeling the pressure from the home support to get back in, and there's a long ball over the top, but Santos with a fantastic save. Thank you, new keeper. If we'd have had an injury to Jimenez last season, we would have been in trouble. Oh no, they've equalised through Tyler Adams. That was a poor one. We left that post undefended. We did have someone on it, I think, when the corner came in. Indeed, we did. But yeah, he just stepped forward and moved out of position. And now it's 2-2. Okay, Eugenio comes on for Maicon Silva. He can play as an inside forward out on the right, but it's only a couple of minutes left, so it doesn't really matter that much. We've got 4 minutes of stoppage time then. Can we hold on, or will we have a sickening twist of the knife late in this game? Let's have a look. Duarte brings it forward now, looking for support. It comes to Eugenio, to Kamara. Eugenio's cut inside. We've got the overlap from Jonathan. Jonathan looking to get the cross in. Plays the ball back to Kamara. Kamara loses it, and now we're exposed for a counter-attack. Come on, get the ball off them, boys. Close that Kluivert down. Good play by Crush, but it's come back to Kluivert. Luckily, his shot goes straight at Santos. But the highlight continues. We've got about 60 seconds left of the additional time here. What's going to happen in these final moments? Roma will be desperate for the winner. Kluivert again. Oh, Jonathan. Jonathan with a last gasp tackle. Very risky because he's on a yellow and it was inside the area, but we got away with it. Now it's a throw-in for Roma. It's not over yet. Come on, boys. Close them down. Close that Mancini down. He's played it into the middle, but yeah, we're forcing them backwards. They can't find their way forward. And the referee blows the whistle. Well, if you can play your first ever European game away to Roma and feel slightly disappointed that you didn't win, I think you've done a damn good job. All right, we will tell the boys, you were unlucky today. You should have won that match, but we just got pegged back late on. But those are the kind of games where you've got to pick up that point. A point away from home in Europe is nothing to be sniffed at. £163,000 prize money is nothing to be sniffed at. And the fact that if it does come to head with Roma and we've got 2 away goals, that could come in key as well. Right, so looking at our fixtures, we've got an easy game coming up on Sunday. Elche, newly promoted, down at the bottom of the table. Taking nothing for granted again, of course. Then Atletico Pamplona, who are flying high, currently second, won all of their games so far, as have Barcelona. So we've got those 3 coming up next before we host PSV. Now, I'm thinking about the next episode here because, on the one hand, PSV, it will be our first ever home game in Europe, but it is a bit soon after this most recent episode. I mean, obviously, through this first half of the season, we're going to be focusing on the European competition. So we'll see what happens over the next day or so while I'm playing through the game. We might come back for PSV for our first ever home game, or we might just play through until we get Bate Borisov at home. So one of those 2, and then maybe we'll come back for PSV in the final game, because, you know, there may be something riding on that, hopefully. There will be. There'll be an international episode in the middle of that all as well. And I hope you're going to be joining me for all of them. So I do thank you very much for watching today's episode. Please let me know down in the comments what you think of the new signings of the Wonderkids, what you think of the transfers and the players we got rid of. Do you think we've got better replacements in? And what do you think of our Euro Cup draw and our chances in the Euro Cup or Europa League and La Liga this season? I would love to know your thoughts on all of that. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Please hit that like button if you've enjoyed today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm Dodgy Gamer. I'll see you again soon.